Sometimes the greatest teachers don't give us answers. They give us experiences that forge the questions into our hearts so deeply that when the answer finally comes, we don't just understand it, we become it. What you're about to hear is a true story about why so much of what we learn never seems to change anything that truly matters. It's about why knowledge can leave us informed, yet unchanged. And why we can do all the right things and still feel quietly empty. And why knowing the applauded right answers so often fails to transform the way we live. It's about the quiet suspicion many of us carry. That there is a way of living more fully, more truthfully, but we've somehow missed the key. But it started with cruelty, with mockery, with four boys who thought they'd found the perfect victim for their entertainment. Here's how it all began. The afternoon sun beat down mercilessly as the four of us approached the old man's weathered wooden door, trying desperately not to laugh. We had rehearsed this perfectly, and we were to dress like spiritual seekers, put on those earnest, searching faces, ask deep questions about God and enlightenment, then watch the old fool stumble over his words. It would be hilarious content later. The door creaked open slowly. The old man stood there. He wore simple clothes. "Welcome," he said softly. But even at that, he didn't invite us inside. Instead, he gestured to a small balcony by the side of his house. "We'll talk here," the old man said. Then, without thinking, just wanting to get the ball rolling, Marcus blurted out, "What's the difference between a student and a master?" The old man didn't pause. His answer came instantly. "A student does more and more to achieve less and less, but a master does less and less to achieve more and more." I blinked. That wasn't the rambling answer we'd expected. "But what does that even mean?" I asked. The old man smiled gently. "Not today. Come back tomorrow if you truly wish to know." And just like that, we were dismissed. Walking home, we were unusually quiet. "A student does more to achieve less," James muttered. "A master does less to achieve more. That doesn't even make sense." But that night, lying in bed, I found myself staring at the ceiling, turning the words over and over in my mind. More effort, less result. Less effort, more result. How is that even possible? By the next morning, all four of us were back at the old man's door, earlier than we'd planned. The old man welcomed us to the same balcony as if he'd known we'd return. "Please," I said, "what did you mean yesterday? About masters and students?" The old man's eyes twinkled. "You will figure it out," he said simply. "But, in time." Frustration bubbled up in Marcus's throat. "Then answer another question. How do we see the face of God?" The old man leaned back in his chair. He simply looked at us. Really looked. "I will show you," he said finally. "At the mountaintop." Our eyes widened. "Can we go now?" James asked. "Not yet. Only when you are ready." "How do we get ready?" My voice cracked slightly. "When you resolve the answer to the first question, the difference between a master and a student." We left feeling like we'd been punched in the gut.